we're about to get hella controversial. But you know what? I'm down. I love debates. I love drama. So we're doing it. The arena tier list video is live. So for background, since people will be questioning, I play NA1 servers at the top 100 league. I made a challenge to reach top 100 without limit breaks. I did, but didn't at the same time. See, two of my units were in limit broken, but one of my units had a level 71. So I mean, I guess you can't really count it. I mean, at first it was Bari, but then I switched to Eugene because Bari sucked without those extra stats. So I played a lot on different accounts, like tried out multiple uniques, got them MLB even. I played them in arena, so I had a good bit of insight on how the character functions. But with that being said, the first unique is Airbell, and she's going in the S tier spot actually. Even though Airbell is a unit that needs high investment and a lot of skill to manage, she's a damn good hero once you understand all of her gimmicks. The speed she gets on hit makes her a menace to go up against, even if you have an element advantage over her. Once she tags you, she also gets a crit boost on top of the speed increase, so you're left chasing her down while being pelted with relatively hard hitting plasma grenades. Airbell's issue lies in her extremely low defense and pretty slow projectiles that can't pass through walls. Though a master of the character will make really good use of this and put a lot of stage control out on you, making Airbell practically invincible for extremely long portions of the game. Next on the list is Bari, and she's going to be on the S tier. Bari has the raw power and enough bulk to deal immense amounts of damage to anyone she faces. There's nothing much to really be said about the character. She's pretty straightforward. Her kit makes it so she hits criticals and gives her a boost to do even more damage, and she gives a 70% buff to party members' skill attacks. Bari would be an SS tier, but unfortunately this isn't 2.2. So with the buffs that came on 2.6, aka the Rue banner, came a bunch of buffs to underused heroes, including Plit and Vishuvac. But I'm not going to sit on Bari, we all know her interactions, and she promised next update. Next is Bianca, and she's going to be SS tier. Bianca has the ability to do absurd amount of damage when given water or crit boost, and a fair amount of defense, which makes her really frustrating to go against when paired with Ogma. Due to the huge absence in Earth uniques, Bianca sits very comfortably in the meta game and is free to eliminate threats like Marina, Future Princess, and in some cases Beth. Her weapon skill has a pretty fast regen and is very hard to avoid when going against an Avid Bianca main. It just comes out so fast and so far. Next is Idol Eva, and unfortunately she's gotta go into B tier. Idol Eva needs massive investment to fit in with the common arena play, and with high presence of Beths and Ogma, trying to squeeze in the extra basic boost doesn't make Eva ideal for arena setups. Though if you're lucky enough to not match up with a Beth or Ogma, Idol Eva does good work at defeating units with an element disadvantage or low mobility like Marina. But Eva is too opportunistic and doesn't do much work herself to go any higher on the tier list. Next up we have Lubina, who's going on the A tier. Lubina has solid damage, and due to her relatively low presence, you can take advantage of a lot of matchup inexperience. She has a universal crit buff, but unfortunately her defense is very low, and she has an erratic attack style, making it fairly easy to dodge her wolves. With astronomical levels of FP presence, Lubina is going to have a difficult time finding a comfortable battle, and though Nari is common in arena, Nari's playstyle actually makes her fare pretty well against Lubina. But again, matchup inexperience is your bestest friend when playing with underrated heroes, so Lubina gets an A in the tier list. Going in the SS tier is Eugene. Eugene becomes abusive on a lot of maps and can become your biggest scourge in the hands of a veteran Eugene player. With great attack, good bulk, a passive that gives her increased range damage on hit, and a chain skill that does massive DPS, Eugene gets a lot of work done against a lot of the metagame. As a bonus, Eugene gives a melee boost to party members, allowing for deadly melee comps. Eugene does have a weakness to Nari, but with the right skill and the right map, Eugene can turn Nari into roadkill with no issues. Now we have Lon, who like Idol Eva is going to have to go in the B tier. I really feel for these two heroes. These are one of the few heroes I haven't been able to playtest myself, so I have to take things from others' gameplay and perspective. Lon has 172 defense, which is slightly higher than Vishuvac's, and 740 attack, which is 2 lower than Marina. Lon is acceptable to FP, Ogma, and is overall just inferior to many units you'll see out there. Lon just has infinitesimal usage, and even after her buff, there's little to no Lons being played out there. There's always a unit for someone though, so Lon gets B tier. Marina is SS tier. Bladed Pencil isn't the greatest hero, but also isn't a terrible choice. Lapis has a 141 base defense, which is 1 higher than Tinia, and 704 attack, which is the same as Future Princess. Lapis's main gimmick is her speed increase on hit, which lasts 5 seconds, which is really good given how fast you can dip in and out of combat. Lapis has become very hard to weapon skill, and is pretty scary to try and collect boxes against. Lapis has the sweet luxury of max weapon experience and can scum a good portion of these units in this game. Though she's clunky to play and is very map reliant, Lapis is an A tier hero. Gonna put these two up here. Flipflex has 711 attack, which is the same as Eugene, and 173 defense, which is one lower than Bari. Flipflex is A tier due to her presence of Marina and occasionally Garam, scaring her away from screen time. Outside of those two heroes rallying her, Flipflex has pretty good damage and a manageable attack style. Flipflex exclusive gives her solid sustain, and her weapon skill not only heals but removes negative effects. She has a random 50% chance to negate incoming damage and a very powerful chain skill that allows her to increase normal damage and defense by 50% for 10 seconds of the game. Rue is a very powerful hero in the melee metagame, given as nobody wants to dogfight her due to her extremely high defense and 10% attack increase she gains in close quarters. On top of that, her charge attack reduces target's damage by 30%, and her sturdy horn ability reduces damage taken by another 30%, both for 4 seconds at a time. Rue gets S tier for being able to scare people away from being as aggressive than normal, and having the weapon skill in enough range to chip them all throughout the game. Unfortunately, Rue loses SS tier potential from having too short of blast radius to keep her from losing a sizable amount of health on the round end, and for needing quite a heavy amount of investment before being able to bring about the scare factor. I'm sure we all know why Gabriel immediately gets SS tier. Gabriel is a really good hero, but she gets S tier primarily because she's in need of basically supremely stacked out equipment and hero progression before she gets SS tier levels. I know it's a pretty scummy way to not give her SS, but on top of what I just said, it's too early in 2.8.1 for me to really judge if she gets the SS tier spot, especially considering how scary Nari can be for her. Next is Olive, who's getting A tier. After playing Olive myself, I thought he was alright, A tier material, but after seeing some vids on him, I really wanted to put him on S tier, but it's not fair to say a unit is so and so because someone else's boost. On top of that, similar to Gabriel, he needs supreme investment in weapon breaks before getting that S tier spot, so he remains as an A. Plus the melee meta isn't really doing him any favors anyway, so... Vishuvat gets S tier because she's just really good. Bonus damage to non-fire units, can dodge skill super easily, and an almost unmissable weapon skill. As for Tinia and Maya, those two can go anywhere. I honestly don't know what those uniques are. If you stuck around until the end, thank you so much. You're the real MVP. Following my last video, I'm really trying to raise the bar with the Guardian Tales content. Any likes and subs would be amazing, and you can always unsub immediately after. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.